Hello and welcome everybody into another edition of the PHNX Suns pregame show. I am obviously not Lindsey Smith. I'm your host, Greg Esposito tonight. Espo, as I am better known, and we are alongside Saul Bookman, Gerald out at the Footprint Center. Lindsey will join us remotely for the postgame show. Glad to have each and every one of you with us. We are brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's #1 sportsbook app. When you sign up, use that code PHNX. It's good for you, and it's good for us. So Suns go for 18 straight wins tonight, a franchise record on the line at Footprint Center. But before we get to that, let's welcome in our guest, Flex from Jersey. Flex, how are you, my man?
What's up, my boys? What's up, my guys? Happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
What is it there? Like 8:30 for you, Flex?
Yes, sir. 8:30.
Oh well, good.
I don't mind these. I hate the 10 o'clock ones, man.
I'm always impressed that you are, no matter what, like clockwork, every Suns game you're watching and tweeting no matter how late it is.
I don't know how you
on
do
the
it,
East Coast.
to be honest with you. I don't even know how you stay up late enough to jump on Bloomer's post game. I'm like, dog. Like the other night, I was exhausted. Yo,
It's crazy. It's nuts. And then in the morning, man, I pay for it, but I can't do it any other way, man. This is what I love, brother. So, but yeah, man, it gets to me sometimes.
How have you enjoyed the win streak? We haven't talked since it was still in its infancy. So how are you feeling about 17 straight? What have you enjoyed and what has caught your eye with it?
Man, it's a lot of fun, man. What I've enjoyed the most is the growth of the team and the way that they're doing it. That's probably been the most impressive thing. I mean, the other night was phenomenal, man. And people don't know this about me, but I'm a huge boxing guy, man. And the Suns showed the other night, dude, that they can beat you in multiple styles. And they lost their home run hitter in Devin Booker, and they just amplified things on defense and went from being excellent on defense to being absolutely incredible on defense. And it's a good thing, man. It's the win streak is cool, man, but we all know there's a bigger picture. You know what I mean? So I'm enjoying it just like y'all, man. But I'm actually I'm paying a little more attention to, especially tonight, the growth of the team and how they play without Devin. It's going to be really impressive to see the next 3-4 games, how they adapt to playing without Devin. But good first sign, man.
hey, I think the Suns dodged a major bullet with Devin not being as serious as it could have been. Hamstrings they're funny. They're funny. You never know if they're going to be a couple days, couple weeks, or a couple months. You know what I mean? Like it just depends. And so luckily, and Devin's been through this before. So what is what's your overall take on that situation? And what are you hearing about that?
Yeah, man. I mean, he definitely dodged a bullet. It's something that he's dealt with before. He dealt with it in the finals. I mean, we found, there's a lot of people found out about it mainstream afterwards. But he dealt with it for sure in the finals, and it's something that keeps rearing his ugly head. And it's something that I think Devin is going to make a conscious effort going forward to try to work on a little bit more and pay just a little bit more attention to it. I think I think we're fine. I mean, matter of fact, I know we're fine. I was in communication with my contacts the night it happened, and I was told almost immediately that it's going to be a couple weeks. You know what I mean? But it's not anything that we should be really concerned about. But I tell you what, guys, I do want to say this, and I said it on the post game show with John Bloom. I actually think this is a blessing in disguise. In a weird way, I think when we look back at this season, if the Suns are blessed to win an NBA championship, I think we're actually going to look back at this Golden State game and say that that was the moment that kind of catapulted us. Because, and I say it's a blessing because I just feel like you're going to see now a Phoenix Suns team that's going to learn to do things in a different manner. And so without Devin, man, you're going to see guys step up and have to play a different role. And I think that's going to help us in spades come playoff time and when it counts. So I'm not as disappointed as some people. I know Devin's going to be fine. I know the MRI and all that stuff got done, and we got nothing to worry about. And I really do think he's going to miss 2 weeks, though. I think they're just going to be really cautious. But I think we're straight, man. I'm looking forward to how they handle the next 3 or 4 without him.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, a first view of it in that Golden State game was an impressive one. But the big question right now is who will start in his place. Monty Williams would not say in his pregame presser. We threw it out to the Cove Crazies on Twitter, our followers, and said, "Hey, who would you rather start? Cam Johnson, Landry Shamet, or Cam Payne?" Pretty close between Landry Shamet and Cam Johnson. 48% Landry Shamet, 44% Cam Johnson, only 8% for Cam Payne. If you were pulling the strings around here, who would you want to start, Flex?
I'm going with Landry. I'm going with Landry Shamet, and only because I think it's the most obvious thing to do, in the sense that it keeps pretty much everybody else in their normal roles. I like what I saw from Cam Johnson in that spot, but you gotta remember, if you do that, now you're hindering yourself in the front court. Like, who's going to play the backup four? Especially with Frank out and some of the other stuff. So I
Well,
think just because of that,
it
I'm sorry.
looks
Go ahead.
like Landry's in anyway because Lindsay's tweet just hit a message in the chat saying that the Suns Twitter account said Landry's in it. So there you
Okay,
go.
so yeah, so I
Just
mean
came down.
that's to me what made the most sense. I mean, just keep everybody in their normal roles. Landry is the backup two, and that's pretty much how it works, right? When you're the backup two, and the front line guy goes out, then you slide into the one. So I do like that frame of thinking. But I wouldn't be surprised if they shake it up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see a second half where they just throw Cam in there to start the second half and try to just throw some things out just based on how their game is going.
Cam's gonna play more for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah. Look, it's not really who starts; it's how those minutes play out. And my guess is Cam's going to get at least a good amount of those minutes, and we may see some campaign CP3 backcourt time as
Yep.
well. That'll make up for some of those minutes. Monty's shown a willingness to play the hot hand, and my guess is that's how this is going to play out. If Shamet's hot, he'll probably stick with him for a good amount of the time. If not, he'll turn to Cam or Campaign. Either of the Cams
Right.
he'll turn to in that case. So let's look at who the favorite tonight is according to our friends over at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The Suns are favored by 12 tonight. I'm nervous on this one, guys, and I've said this a few times in this streak, but tonight for sure feels like the potential of the ultimate letdown game. You come off a big win against the Warriors, you lose Devin Booker, and you know you're playing the Warriors again tomorrow on Friday. What do you feel? What do you guys feel? Is this a trap game potentially or not?
I don't listen. If I'm betting the spread, I'm to be talking about the spread. I'm actually taking the 12 with Detroit tonight. I don't think the Suns are gonna. I just don't. I don't think they're gonna run away with this. I'd be surprised, but I don't think it's a trap. You know why? I think it would be a bigger trap if we weren't playing the way we're playing, man. But I just feel like they know that the 18 game franchise record's on the line, and I also think that Devin being out is going to prevent this from being a trap. I think if Devin would have played, it'd be more of a trap. But I think that because Devin is out and you're going to have guys in expanded roles, and those guys are trying to use every opportunity to expand on those roles even more, I think that's a blessing for us tonight. I think the guys like Shamet and Cam Johnson, Campaign, some of the guys are going to get more minutes and opportunities with Devin out. I think they're going to bring the energy that we probably wouldn't have if this was a 18 game, going for the 18 game win streak. We're booking the lineup knowing we got the Golden State Warriors tomorrow. So that kind of gives me a little bit of a safety net. So I think they do win, but I don't know that they cover the 12.
Detroit is hot triggity trash is what they are. Okay, so we can talk trap games all we want, but they ain't getting a dub here. Hopefully the Suns don't play down to their level all game. I don't feel like they will, because you know what, Cam's getting a little bit more run. Guys that usually don't play, the amount of minutes they might have to play tonight. Usually when that happens, guys are going to step up, and so I would expect guys like Campaign, who didn't have a great game last game, to step up. Cam Johnson's going to get a little bit more run. Mikal's going to do what Mikal does. DA should have a nice night tonight. So I'm not too concerned about it at all.
I think you are going to need your starters to play well, though, because Detroit's bench is the highest scoring bench in the NBA, averaging over a little over 40 points a game. So with Landry Shamet moving into that starting lineup, your bench is firepower is a little depleted. So you're going to need to win in those starter minutes by a good amount just to overcome that.
Who else is going to go 2 for 9 from the field if Landry isn't going to come off the bench and do it?
Yeah, but you're also losing Devin Booker's scoring in the starting lineup, so you have to have those other starters pick up the slack, because Detroit's bench is not just gonna lay down and die when they come in. They actually can score the rock. So that's the thing that's concerning for me. Fabio in the chat wants to know. It says the real question is if Elfrid Payton is going to play or not.
Oh, he's going to play.
He's going to have to.
Oh, yeah, he's playing.
He's going to play.
Yeah, he's playing. I mean, he played the other night.
He played the other night easily. Yeah, he's going to play.
Yeah, and
he's going to play.
You hope that he can kind of ease into what they need out of him. He looked okay in his minutes against the Warriors, nothing special. But I guess why you signed him is for just that. Just come in and don't screw things up. Just hold down the fort if necessary. And tonight's going to be one of those nights. You're going to need him to.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what you nailed it. Exactly what his role is. He had a really bad turnover in the minutes he played in the Golden State game. But man. Listen, I saw a lot of Elfrid last year in New York, man, and I trust him in this spot. He'll come in, he'll be steady Eddie, he'll play his 8 to 10 minutes, if that, and he'll do his job. But I tell you what, guys, man, I watched this game 2 more times, and I was absolutely I mean, I was in awe of how good they were defensively and how they were able to ramp it up. So I honestly believe this is going to be a lot of fun to watch tonight, because you're going to see an entirely different Suns team, guys. I really think the Suns are going to now lean on their defense. And I think that you're going to see an entirely different team than we see with Devin on the court. And it's cool as hell to see, because that's what championship teams do, man. They're able to evolve, they're able to adjust, and they're able to play to the matchup and be able to adjust when things get crazy. And this team defensively, I think, is going to take a nice step on the defensive end with Devin out. So I think you play really good defense and you just manage the game offensively. And I think they'll be just fine.
Do you guys think they alter the offense to where DA's more of a focal point? We haven't seen him do it, and we've pounded the table for it. If you're going to do it, now seems like a logical time.
Why
right?
are you trying to trigger me this early in the day? You know how I feel about this. Listen. With Devin Booker out, it gives everybody else. It kind of focuses everybody else a little bit more on DA, and the opportunity that has presented itself for DA to be a little bit more involved on the offensive side of the ball, because now you're not running actions for Devin Booker. You're running it for maybe Mikal or Cam, and you have to run something for DA. And we're going to find out tonight whether or not they actually got, things in the bag for DA, or, well, maybe this is just a systemic problem and the reason why they can't get DA the ball. One of the things I will say, though, I was hot about this the other night, but DA also has to play his part and be as aggressive as he was the other night. He needs to do that every single night. And that's the thing that's so frustrating about DA, is that, one night he could play against the Pistons and come up with, 10 points and 6 rebounds. And you're like, he should have dominated that game. And then another night he'll come back against the Warriors and have a double-double, 20-plus points, 10-plus rebounds. And you're just like, why can't we get this more consistently? So on the offensive side of the ball, DA's consistency, it has to start. It has to start somewhere. And tonight is a good night for it to continue from the other night.
Yeah, I think like Espo, I couldn't agree more. I think it's systemic though, man. I really do think that we're gonna see in this stretch that a lot of what's holding DA back from these big games are just systemic.
Oh, I know.
And I honestly don't think they're going to change anything tonight. I really don't. I think they're going to play the game as if Devin Booker is playing.
But the other night they did start to go into him, and they actually ran some actions and tried to find him down low. That was probably one of the first times in quite a while where I actually saw them making a concentrated effort to get the ball down low to DA, because they knew they had a mismatch down there all game long.
That's what I think it was, though, brother. I think that that was more about the matchup. I think they just knew that, listen, we gotta take advantage of this matchup, and slowing the game down, getting the ball to DA in the post is good for defense and keeping the ball away from Steph in transition and stuff like that. So I think that was a matchup thing. I agree with you, though, bro, 1,000%. I would love to see him more of a focal point. But I just don't think that's in the DNA of how this team, Monty, coaches this basketball team. I think they're going to try to go out and be the Phoenix Suns that we normally see and try to make Landry Shamet look like Devin Booker. and we know that's not going to happen.
Oh, my God.
If Landry Shamet takes anywhere close to the amount of shots that Book takes on a night, I will lose my shit tonight.
He's not. No, he's not. I just think the sets are going to be similar. I don't think he's taking that.
I don't think he's shy. We've seen it with the second unit. Yeah. So if he's getting those if he's playing somewhat of the Devin Booker role and he's getting those looks and he's chucking it, I'm going to be damn pissed, because that's not what you need to do. And I really feel like, and I've pounded the table with Saul on this, at some point you need to alter your offense to have a secondary option where you pound it down to DA when it's necessary.
Again, we talked about this last year in the finals, and one of the glaring weaknesses was DA didn't do his part. I acknowledge that. But in the finals, when Chris Paul was hobbled, and then obviously afterwards we found out Devin Booker was hobbled, they didn't have that third consistent option. And if they had developed that over the season with DA, I just felt like they could have relied on that a little bit more on the offensive side of the ball. So that way, when they got into the finals and they were looking for a bucket, they were just desperate for a bucket, they could at least try that for a couple possessions. They didn't even have that as an option.
And now seems like a perfect time to get that as
an
option.
That's what you do right now. That's what you do right now.
That's what you do right now. That's what you do right now, guys. You nailed it. Tonight should be, let's see what the hell we got with DA as the focal point of our offense. Yes. I don't think it's going to play out that way, but if us three were coaching the Phoenix Suns tonight, I think we all agree on what the hell we be doing. We be trying to get DA.
I mean, if us three were coaching the Phoenix Suns right before DA went out for that tip, I would just be like, hey, don't be no bitch.
Yeah. I'm just going to say this. If the three of us were coaching the Phoenix Suns tonight, they wouldn't be getting their 18th straight win.
They'd be getting their 18th straight loss. I promise you that.
DeAndre Ayton would have 60, and they'd lose by 60. That's the way it would play out.
We'd be all fired by Robert tomorrow morning.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm not touching it.
No
I'm leaving
comment.
it alone.
No comment.
You're not touching it. Oh, yeah. You know what? I take that back. Let me take that back. That was 4 times.
So I saw this on Burns and Gambo's Twitter earlier today. Josh Jackson is in town as a member of the Detroit Pistons, and they asked the question:
Are they gonna box and win him?
It's called a hot box when it's Josh Jackson. Allegedly, it's a hot box and one when it's Josh Jackson. But they asked, when you think of the dark times of the Phoenix Suns, who of the following truly represents the failure of those Suns? Josh Jackson, Earl Watson, Eric Bledsoe, or Ryan McDonough? I do not think it's fair to have Josh Jackson in this list.
No.
I don't. You can blame the organization as much for Josh Jackson's failures as you can blame.
What about Dragan Bender and Marquise Chris? What about those two bums?
And I don't think you can blame them either. The player development sucked here, right? That's part of it as well. I mean, those young guys.
Alex Len. I mean, shit. Come on, man.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, but I want to know, who do you guys put it on? Obviously not
Babby.
Josh Jackson. You're putting it on Lon Babby.
Ryan McDonough. 100%. That's who I'm going with. Ryan McDonough. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off.
I'm just going to say, I said on Twitter Lance Blanks because it set the tone for the 10 years. But I thought about it more, and there's one man that this lays at the feet of. and I'm going to piss some people off. Some people are going to go, amen, you're preaching to the choir. It's Robert Sarver.
Why
because
would
the
you be-
Bucks
Oh yeah,
start-
but is he on the list though? I didn't see him.
No, I'm just
But
saying
who would be mad about that? That's clearly like it's.
some
that's
people
clearly,
still
yeah,
defend
yeah.
him. But the bottom line is any GM, any president of basketball operations did not have the opportunity to make moves that they wanted because they had a meddling owner. So in the end,
Right.
that's who it lays at the feet of.
Hey guys, you know what pisses me off is that this is narrative, right? And I'm seeing it happen a lot. I'm seeing Ryan McDonough go on his little victory lap, and he's like, I drafted Devin Booker, and I drafted DeAndre Ayton, and I did the Mikal Bridges. Well, let me tell y'all something that I know for a fact, and you might, I believe you were in the building, Espo. If Frank Kaminsky was not on the board, if Frank Kaminsky was on the board at 13, they were going to take Frank Kaminsky. Ryan McDonough was going
over Devin
to
Booker?
draft. Yes, I know that for a fact. I was told by somebody in the
Yes.
room.
And thank
So
God
I don't want to
Michael
hear
Jordan.
I don't want to hear the bullshit about I drafted Devin Booker.
Ooh.
Devin Booker fell in your damn lap,
Look,
and
but
that's
finally,
what happened.
I mean, Frank
Finally-
Kaminsky torched Devin Booker
Hey.
and the Kentucky Wildcats.
Well, that's why
just a little
Ryan
bit
was gonna
before
draft him.
that.
let's
So
just say this.
let him thrive as a son.
Michael Jordan
Right.
owed us all in Phoenix. So thank God he took Frank.
That's true.
And Frank was a double agent. He went out there and he was like, I'm going to take down Michael Jordan and then I'm going to join the Suns. So I love how the whole thing played out.
I am a huge Michael Jordan stan, but he is one of the worst talent evaluators of all time.
Absolutely atrocious, man. Listen, some guys are great ball players, but shit, stay away from all that other stuff because listen, guys, that dude made Tyson Chandler and Kwame Brown play one-on-one and said, whoever wins the game, I'm picking first. That's what he did. Like no BS, man. He literally said, "Hey, Kwame Brown won the game," and so he took Kwame Brown. I mean,
Why does
Jordan
that
is
shock
crazy.
us though? The dude was known for gambling. Like that's the ultimate gamble. Hey, it's 50-50 here. Let's roll the dice and let's see what happens. You know,
He's not the dude. He's the greatest of all time.
No,
let's check
he's
that.
a dude with a gambling problem. All right.
Who was homie from Gonzaga he took? What's his name?
Adam Morrison.
Yeah,
Adam
Morrison.
Morrison, man. Come on, man.
That is who
Come on.
Shane Diefenbach patents his look after. Our producer is the stash there. One of the comments in the chat, and I'm not even going to try that name because I'll inevitably butcher it.
Christian
but
Elan.
that's what I was going to say.
Oh, wow.
Josh Jackson bailed on a fan meet and greet, and
Yep,
James
at
Jones had to
Fry's.
buy everyone beer.
Yep.
He deserves to be on the list. I mean,
I remember that.
I don't know.
It's true.
He did.
Maybe he deserves to be on the list, but he's not
Maybe-
the reason.
Maybe he was terrible at keeping his schedule. Maybe he was a dick.
He was barely here for over 2 years. How is he responsible for a whole decade?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna tell you why it's Ryan McDonough because of that very situation. Okay, so you know Ryan McDonough, you know
But he
Josh
wasn't here
Jackson.
for that.
No, Ryan for Josh Jackson, he drafted Josh Jackson. Ryan.
No, I know, but he wasn't here for the whole snafu with the not showing up to Fry's thing.
Yeah, no, but I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? So the Josh Jackson thing, right? First of all, Josh Jackson had a workout in Boston, and Josh and Ryan McDonough convinced him to cancel that workout, and Boston flew out to Sacramento to see him, and he completely dipped on that workout. Now.
Yep.
I've been told by people close to the situation that Boston was going to take Josh Jackson that year, but because he did that, they settled for Tatum. And that's why again it all falls on Ryan McDonough. If you sit here and let everybody play out the way it plays out, Boston takes Josh Jackson, and we probably end up with Jason Tatum, and we're so much better off than we are. You know what I mean? But again,
the Suns screw up Jason Tatum, and it doesn't matter. Like the development.
Well, listen. You could be right. You could be right there, but I'm always going to lean on the. If we could have had Jason Tatum over Josh Jackson, I pray that we can F that up. But
I think
maybe you're right.
I think you and I will always disagree on the McDonough portion of this. Low Tone Capone says, can't be mad at Josh Jackson. The Suns picked up my beer tab once because of him. So Low Tone was out there for the James Jones beer experience. So good on him. I am glad you got a free beer out of it. We got to get moving here, but let's look at our picks for tonight's game. Sorry I didn't put you in the graphic, Flex. I apologize.
Oh, come on. It's all good, brother.
We got Lindsay says Suns by 8. I say Suns by 12. I think they get a push on the on the odds tonight. Saul says Suns by 10, and Gerald says the Pistons by 2013.
Because that was the last time the Detroit Pistons won in Phoenix?
No,
Damn
that was
it.
actually the year the city of Detroit filed for bankruptcy. So that's why that
What does
number's in
that?
there.
What does that have to do with this game, though?
It's Detroit. They're from Detroit. It's just a fact. It's a random fact. It's never directly about the game.
Well, I mean, I thought it was like gonna be like something relatable.
It is.
But, okay.
The
cool.
city that the Pistons
they're gonna
have
lose by
named.
3.9 million because Detroit has that many people. Like, what? Okay.
Yeah. So try it.
I think Suns by 11. Suns by 11.
All right.
They're not going to cover, but I think they're going to be right on the threshold. I got Suns by 11.
All right. Well, it is about tip time. So we will be back post game to hopefully be in the VIP lounge celebrating I almost said 12th straight victory.
A franchise record 18th victory.
If they go to a 12th straight, something weird has really happened. It'll be an 18th straight victory, and they will have accomplished it without the services of Devin Booker. So go watch the game. Join us back here at Postgame. Flex, thanks so much for joining us. You can follow him at Flex from Jersey. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. The underscore is there to allegedly hold all that pot smoke that Josh Jackson blew out. You can follow me at Espo. You can follow the show at PHNX_. Suns, we'll talk to you after the game. Ahoy, hoy.